It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning with Fletcher.
Oh, hi there.
And Ryder.
I'm going to start at an 11. I'm going to take it to about a 15 real quick.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Tuesday.
Goodness.
It is May 13th. And 15 is an undersell.
Oh, yeah.
Ryder, because good God almighty, I'm feeling Minnesota, and I'm so excited to say, Paul Fletcher, what's happening?
I have to recover first.
Go!
Your start. Okay.
Go!
Hey, guess what?
What?
We got a big old concert coming here.
I'm excited.
Farm Aid 40 will be hitting Huntington Bank Stadium September 20th. It's kicking off a year-long 40th anniversary celebration.
Nice.
Do you want to
nice.
know who's going to be there? Or do you want me to keep it a secret?
I'd like you to tell me who's going to be there. And I'm excited because I can say finally and officially Huntington Bank Stadium, that's like 2 football fields away from here.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
It is.
I used football fields as a measure of distance. All right.
Well, the lineup is, I think, probably what you would expect and what you would hope for. Willie Nelson.
Yes.
John Mellencamp.
Yes.
Neil Young.
Yes.
Dave Matthews Band.
Sweet.
With Tim Reynolds, from what I understand. Also some really cool newer artists that'll be tagging along as well. Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Fantastic. Minnesota's own Trampled by Turtles.
Okay.
Yeah. Farm Aid President Willie.
Don't sleep on Margot Price.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Margot Price. Sorry.
Also on the lineup.
Yeah, sorry. That's actually my bad. I just overlooked. I was so excited.
Very excited.
I was taken by all of your enthusiasm, and I lost it. Farm Aid President Willie Nelson, heard of him, says Minnesota is an ideal host as Farm Aid commemorates this milestone anniversary. He said, quote, "Family farmers are the heart of this country, and we depend on each other for good food and strong communities." So there you go.
Fantastic.
It's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it's coming here for the first time, kicking off a year-long celebration of the 40th anniversary. Farm Aid, baby.
It's a Saturday, and it's going to be like the whole freaking day from what I understand.
That's great. September the 20th, and well, you already said this, but I'm just going to reiterate. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Win some on this show only.
What?
Later on today during
Today?
and all the rest of the week.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Farm Aid 40 hookup.
We're giving away tickets.
Yeah.
I dig this too. Homegrown concessions. Going to be all kinds of like farm to table type of food, as you would expect at a Farm Aid, right?
Very nice.
So yeah, the menu's going to be good. Probably provided by a bunch of our farmers. And I've got a ton of farming in my family, so I love this whole thing in every capacity.
Fantastic.
All right, now we start with the major up. Then we got to go to a down. Sorry, it's just how it is. Yesterday, we talked about air quality, 2 wildfires up north. And there's 2 wildfires up north that are not going to help with the air quality. Minnesota National Guard has been activated as these wildfires have grown. We touched on them yesterday. One happening 35 miles north of Duluth called the Camp House Fire. It's about 1,250 acres. But a second has popped up since we were on the air yesterday, named the Jenkins Creek Fire. This one is in Superior National Forest. That one quickly, quote-unquote, exploded to 1,500 acres by yesterday evening. For all residents up there, we're just hoping that they can get these things under control soon.
Yeah,
so,
that's
everybody's
nothing to do but just hope and
that's
wait
all we
and
can
hope.
do.
And then I guess up north they might get some snow on Thursday. It is
Oddly
going to
enough.
be a crazy-ass week up there.
Oddly enough. I can't believe I'm saying this in mid-May, but snow can't get there soon enough.
Yeah.
Correct. Can we get some snow later today? That'd be amazing. A Kansas City Chiefs superfan known as Chiefsaholic. Heard of this guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was sentenced to 32 more years in state prison for robbing a Tulsa area bank. Xavier Babadar. That's right. That's the correct way to say it.
Babadook? Isn't that like a horror film from Australia? What was that called? Man.
I think it is Babadook.
What's funny is I rehearsed saying his name and I still screwed it up.
That happens.
I just know him as Chiefsaholic. Anyway, he's 30. He apologized in court for the December 2022 robbery. Worth noting, he's already serving time in federal prison, as I mentioned, for multiple bank robberies.
Yeah.
Babadar's attorney cited a gambling addiction, which was covered in his documentary. More on that in just a second. He's admitted to 11 robberies in 7 states, including one in Savage, Minnesota. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Damn.
The Tulsa County District Attorney sought a life sentence, which seems reasonable, but it's going to happen concurrently to his existing. Again, he's got a documentary on Amazon Prime. Have you seen it?
That was my next question.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's called Chiefsaholic. It's absolutely one of the most bonkers things I've ever watched.
Adding it to the list.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
I'm adding it to the list.
Okay, fair enough. If I remember correctly, because I watched it like a year ago, I'm pretty sure it happens. Like this all comes out as they're shooting it. Like they're filming it as the guy that's a Chiefs super fan. All of this
so the original intent was not to. It's not a life of crime. It's the guy who dresses like a wolf man and goes to Chiefs games.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts.
All right. I'm
highly recommend.
I'm on board.
The Rolling Stones have released a line of 5 genderless fragrances.
Why not?
Named after albums, songs, and tours. They include Sticky Fingers, Wild Horses, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, Urban Jungle, and Painted Black. You can get them at subversivescents.com. I looked them up, $110 a bottle.
Is that expensive for a fragrance? That seems like a lot of money to me.
It seems like, okay, by the time a rock and roll band, okay, you like the blues? I like the blues too. Let's make music together. And then one day they're like, let's not do covers. Let's write our own songs. And then it leads to... let's have genderless fragrances. Guys, you've done enough.
Yeah.
You've done enough. By the time you're introducing a line of fragrances called I Can't Get No Satisfaction, go plant some flowers.
Yeah.
Go work at a shelter. My God, what are you doing?
Yeah, although this is probably almost no effort for them, and then they just take all kinds of money.
I'm sure. No. I imagine Keith is in the lab with the people in the lab coat somewhere in the backwaters of like Elizabeth, New Jersey, over there, and all those oil drums, and he's in there. Well, you're right.
He's got a little eyedropper.
Someone just handed him a pen and said, "Sign this," and he went, "All right."
And you know what, Ryder? I will answer your question. $110 is a ton of money for a fragrance because I would pay about $0. I don't do fragrances. The snack company behind this is so up Steve's alley. The snack company behind Cheez-It crackers teamed up with frozen pizza giant Palermo's to create Cheez-It frozen pizza.
Yeah, I'd eat one right now.
The pizza features a square 12-inch original Cheez-It flavored crust.
Sure it does.
And then comes in 3 flavors: Italian 4-cheese, pepperoni, and cheddar jack supreme. This is too much for me.
No, just anything Cheez-It related. Bring it in anytime.
Game on.
You could hand me a jar of peanut butter and say it's Cheez-It flavored peanut butter, and I would try it. I'm not going to do peanut butter whiskey, but I'll do peanut butter Cheez-Its. You know what I mean? If you say Cheez-It, I'm in.
Okay, but can you do a Cheez-It crust and pepperoni? That doesn't sound good together.
It sounds like he can, man.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like heaven.
All right. Well, they're rolling these things out at select stores now and expect to expand by August. So as soon as I see one, I'm buying it.
I appreciate
Bring
that.
it for you. That's what I got.
Speaking of heaven, the Timberwolves are one step closer to the Western Conference Finals for the second straight year. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle turning out to be quite a nice little playoff combo. 61 points combined. They brought down Golden State last night, 117-110. Don't let this score fool you. It was all over early in the third quarter when the Timberwolves went on a 17-0 run.
Nice.
It's fantastic. They did show up a little flat in the first half. At halftime, they went into the locker room. Chris Finch destroyed them and said, "You guys are acting like you've already won the series." And Anthony Edwards took that personally, and he came out, and then they went ahead and took, as I said, one more step towards winning that series. Fantastic effort in the second half. They come back for Game 5 tomorrow night here at the Target Center.
All right.
And I cannot stress enough the benefits of ending this series in 5. Give yourself another break.
Absolutely.
Let Denver and OKC continue to just beat the snot out of each other.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can't get to the finals. The Minnesota Twins are joining the Timberwolves, the Wild, and the Vikings as suddenly having promise. Looking ahead. Go figure.
Did they win in their
Isn't
ninth?
that weird? No. But they have a chance to tonight. They had Monday off.
Gotcha.
8 in a row. Billy Beane said in baseball, you spend the first 2 months of a season trying to figure out what you have, and then you spend 2 months adjusting the roster, and then you spend 2 months trying to make yourself into the playoffs, get yourself into the playoffs. So, hey, Polad family, you want to sell this team? You're holding out for a $1.7 billion offer? Spend a little money, bring in a couple extra players, let's beef up that roster, and let's get to the playoffs. You've won 8 in a row. I don't care who you're playing. That's impressive. There's life in this roster. You want to sell the team? Let's go.
Could you go back to the part where you said spend what?
Spend a little money. Get some trades going. Bring in some.
I don't. When you're talking about the Twins, I don't have any idea. I can't. It sounds like you're speaking another language.
These jackals have about 6 weeks to figure this out. Spend a little, make a little.
Okay.
Medicine Lake, Minnesota. Glad to have you with us this morning. Good morning, Medicine Lake.
Good morning.
Very, very happy to know that you're with us. This is Gorman in the morning. This is Minnesota's 92 KQRS, and this is the most exciting news I've had in a long time.
What?
Science has proven that booze makes your food taste better, and that you actually feel rewarded when you eat high-fat foods after drinking alcohol. It's not just me. It's not just me.
No, you're not alone.
That doesn't make it right.
I've always wondered why the pizza that I had as I'm pre-gaming, I'm trying to build a good base, doesn't taste nearly as good as the one at 2 in the morning. That's probably not as nearly high a quality. It's just garbage I threw in the oven.
I love when people who are from the world of science decide, let's see if we can prove this. The thing that we've all known since the first time we ever got drunk, which is alcohol makes food taste better, especially high-fatty food. Yes, indeed. This is how they did the test. They get a bunch of people in a room. They give half they give half the group alcohol.
Okay.
They give the other half a group some saline solution to drink, and then afterwards they all sit down to lunch.
The people who get the saline solution,
Delicious.
they know, right? So there isn't a way to give a good reading on this.
Right. I'm sorry. That test, that was just women. For the men, they gave some of vodka and orange juice, and others just got orange juice.
That's a better way.
And again, the guys who had the vodka in there, they just suddenly they had an increased appetite for high-fat, savory foods. Yeah. Hey, science, let's get to work on curing cancer. We already know how this works.
It's absolutely true. You come back from a show, you've had plenty of pops for the evening. Jack's Pizza might as well be from Italy at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Course.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
No getting around it.
Oh,
hey, man, ramen noodles, straight. I mean, don't kid yourself. Whatever I can get my hands on is working for me.
Taco Bell.
More great news from the world of science. ChatGPT. Okay, if you've not taken the jump yet, if you've not taken the leap, get involved, because ChatGPT, and we'll discuss this in just a few minutes, can now tell you if your husband is cheating on you.
It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Man, poor Billy, still just a rat in a cage. I mean,
you think he'd get out by now?
After all these years.
Guy sold all those records. The guy played all those concerts. He's got a podcast now, and there he is, still just
the wrestling thing.
Man.
Well, and he's got a tea shop that just can't stop getting the front windows barged in.
A lot going on in the
vehicles.
life of William Corgan, as he likes to call himself now.
Does he? Oh, he does?
Yeah, on his podcast, it's William Patrick, whatever his middle name is.
Oh, right, sure. He's got a lot of rage.
He does.
Despite that, he's still a rat in a cage.
I see. That's what I always got. I always got hung up on. Despite, I would think that your rage would make you still feel like a rat in a cage.
Right.
I would think it would be more like hand in glove than despite. But that's just me getting a little too nitpicky.
Despite all the rage, he can't break out of the cage.
Oh, I interpret it as the rage is you're in a cage of rage, buddy. You're keeping yourself. You are making yourself warden and prisoner. With that rage, you've got to let go of the rage. It's like forgiveness. You don't forgive the person for their sake. You forgive for your own sake.
Wow, this is getting real deep for 6:31.
I thought a little Taoist philosophy at 6:33 would make perfect sense on a Tuesday morning.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. It makes more sense than tasseography, which is an ancient practice of interpreting tea leaves, coffee grounds, or wine sediments to predict the future or to gain insight into a person's life. Now, this is something people have done. This is ancient civilization stuff. Again, people say, "Hey, man, what do you see in the tea leaves? Read the tea leaves." That's a real practice people would do.
And it's called what again?
Tasseography.
Translated roughly into nonsense.
Well, they would read the tea leaves. Or they would take the coffee grounds and shake them up and see how they settle. Or again, wine sediments, that little stuff. If you're not much of a wine drinker, the red wine, there's a little sediment in the bottom sometimes. You can throw those out, let them scatter, and then they settle, and then you read them to get insight. It's like looking into a wishing well with a mirror. There's all these things people have done to say, this is giving me insight. It's astrology on old school steroids. Okay. Well, a woman in Greece is still a practicing tasseographer, and she was reading her coffee grounds and wanted to get ChatGPT's opinion on this. So talk about old school and new school coming together.
Okay, but how does this work? Does she take a picture of the coffee grounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took a picture of the coffee grounds.
Fair.
Said, ChatGPT, how do you interpret the coffee grounds? And ChatGPT came back with, well, it's pretty clear your husband's cheating on you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Husband is involved with a younger woman. She is intent on, not only that, this is what ChatGPT said. Your husband's banging a younger girl.
Okay.
This younger girl, is intent on destroying your family.
What?
And her name begins with the letter E.
This is very specific for ChatGPT.
Very specific for ChatGPT.
Huh.
She confronted her husband. This is a true story from the island nation of Greece. And he started laughing. And he's like, you're crazy. This isn't happening.
Right.
She said, no, it is happening. She asked him to leave. She took the kids. She got an attorney. They are officially being divorced. The guy's on Greek television, like, telling the story, like, she's like, no, it's done. I read the coffee grounds. ChatGPT confirmed what I was thinking. And yes, I'm getting divorced.
Wow.
I mean, his argument just sounds like something a cheater would say.
Of course.
It's not true.
Yeah, that is exactly what the cheaters.
Crap.
That's right.
The
That's right.
grounds thing is total BS.
So basically, ChatGPT has just replaced her best friend. I knew he was cheating on you. I knew it. I could tell.
Yeah.
I never liked him. He smelled like salami at your wedding. I mean, who knows what the hell she's saying? So let me ask you this though: Have you ever been in a relationship where you were suspecting your partner of having cheated on you? No. Because I'm looking back. I did once, and I was found out, and I made a fool of myself. And I never even fully brought the case. I threw out the vaguest of suggestions, maybe, and it was slammed back in my face with,
aggression,
such vigor.
Yeah.
But with complete. She was right. I was like, I didn't say that. She goes, you implied it. I go, but I hadn't even. Well, I was kind of implying it. I was a little, and then I had to immediately go, I'm sorry, I'm just really insecure. I love you so much, and I was freaking out. Which that even wasn't true, but I just went all the way to the other way because I was getting yelled at and had been proven to be an idiot.
You were compensating for being called out. I felt really, really stupid. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. I'm curious. Have you ever been full on suspected of cheating yourself? Like, what are the signs you're looking for? Do you go to ChatGPT? Do you trust your intuition? Which for the younger kids, that's something people used to have. Do you a little something they call good old fashioned common horse sense. Yeah.
And it was awesome. I had it as a kid in the 70s and 80s, and I hear that people had it even before then. But nowadays, no, you just go to ChatGPT for these things. What we have is smartphones instead. I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah.
Never one time. Never suspected a woman you were involved in of having cheated on you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I never really was in that spot. I had some interesting girlfriends over the years, but nothing like that.
I can admit that I was part of the reason I only had one instance of it was in my younger years. That's just how arrogant I was. I'd be like, who would cheat on me? Like I'm some catch. And I had a conversation once with a friend who was going through this, and he said to me, I just can't believe she'd cheat on me. And when he said those words, I went, oh my God. I used to get, and I was like, oh God, men are the dumbest. We're so full of ourselves. 651-989-ROCK. But wait, there's more.
What?
Okay, we mentioned that a woman in Greece determined her husband was cheating on her and is divorcing him because ChatGPT read her coffee grounds. The reading of coffee grounds, something that goes back centuries and centuries and centuries. It's witchcraft. It's nonsense.
It's
nonsense.
Yeah.
It's been going back centuries and centuries, how do we know that it's nonsense?
It's fortune telling.
There must be some credibility to it.
It's a magic 8 ball.
You cannot look at the lines on my palms and tell me what my life is. That's just not possible.
The magic 8 ball's right like 1 out of 8 times.
Well, that's very true. That's very true.
Like the cube or whatever the crap is in there. So this coffee ground stuff's got to be right at least some of the time. And ChatGPT did not read the grounds that way. She did, and ChatGPT backed her up.
Said not only is your husband cheating on you with a younger woman, she wants to destroy her family, and her first name begins with the letter E. ChatGPT gave extra information. All this to say, if you're thinking that someone may be cheating on you, as in your partner is cheating on you, maybe you want to grab what they call now a smart ring, a loyalty ring, as in a ring on your finger. These are available. Smart rings that you and your significant other both wear. And they will track your partner's emotions in real time.
Is this like a mood ring?
It's like a mood ring, but it's connected to your partner's emotions. Using AI, each ring has a microphone and biosensors, and they capture heart rate, skin temperature, and movement to determine how the person wearing that ring is emotionally feeling throughout the day. Long story short, if all the signs of, hey, this person's getting it on, your partner's ring will let you know, hey, they're getting it on. Their heart rate, their blood temperature, their blah, 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 all the signs, what their body does when they're having sex with you, their body's doing that with someone else right now.
How do they know somebody else is involved? Maybe I just need a little moment to myself.
Could very well be.
What if they take their ring off while they're getting it on?
Oh, see, well, gosh, go figure. I mean, you would think there'd be a way around these things.
Then you kind of just
but
yourself.
again, we're all these bells and whistles. When back in the day, you just had a little something called a gut.
Yeah, intuition,
What's
like you
your
said.
gut tell you?
I like this one on the text line. A clue: walked into a friend's bedroom. Her brand of cigarette butts was in his ashtray. He admitted it later.
Whoa!
Yeah,
that's some good sleuthing.
Take those tea leaves.
Yeah, that's something you don't see. That was always a good indicator in older movies. But now that people don't smoke or admit to smoking, you don't see like modern stuff. You don't see the ashtray full of butts anymore. That was always a good telltale sign. What's that Terryton doing with lipstick on it? Hold on, who was in here?
What the? Did one of the kids take up smoking?
I always love the Terryton reference just because my dad was a Terryton man. Remember the old ads for Terryton? It was a guy. It was a print ad. This is like old 60s and 70s, but my dad as a Terryton guy, I'd rather fight than switch. And it shows a guy with a black eye smoking his Terryton. I had a fist fight, so you put that Camel Light away. I'm a Terryton man. That was always like, and by the way, of course, my dad was like, you're damn right I'd rather fight than switch. What kind of man do you think I am?
All right. A lot of ads with women with black eyes, too.
Sure. Oh, everybody. Yeah.
They all did.
I always thought to myself, well, I'm not going to smoke Terryton because apparently it just gets you in a bad mood. It's like me drinking tequila shots. I'm looking for a fight before too long.
Wow. Yeah, look at that.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
The French call that band garbage.
So freaking good. I'm stoked about that show. They're coming this fall.
I know.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Yes,
first half.
yeah.
Ryder, you may not know this, but fun fact, your friend Paul Fletcher saw the first gig that band ever played.
Was it at the Entry?
It was.
Yeah.
Were you there?
I heard. No, I was too young for that one, but
Okay.
I heard about it. But yeah.
Wow.
I was right up front. I got to help because, the stage at 7th Street is a little raised. I got to extend my hand and help Shirley down. I was like backing all these meatheads off. Like, hey, give the lady some room. I don't think I washed that hand for at least a week.
Come on, I'm the right meathead for this moment.
Yeah,
you're the
right.
wrong meathead
That's
for
right.
this
Get
moment.
out of here, meathead.
That's exactly what that was.
That album with the pink feathers on it, I cannot tell you how many times I listened to it. Endlessly.
Butch Vig is on drums there, produced Nirvana's Nevermind.
Right.
So that's one of my favorite
And
tracks.
Simon Dream.
You get to drink a beer with any member of Garbage. Who is it?
Butch Vig.
Shirley Manson.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. Don't think, blink. All right, now let's move it over to the 92 KQRS KQ's bestest poll. You can vote at 92KQRS.com. Not for the member of Garbage you want to drink a beer with, but for the bestest local athlete you'd want to drink a beer with. Bestest local athlete, current or former. We'll open it up. That you get one beer, you get to sit down in a booth at the bar of your choice, you're going to drink a beer, which when I say drink a beer, it really isn't one. It's as many as you need. And then you just hang with that athlete. Who is it? Who are you going with? I'll go to you first, Paul, because you got that wistful look in your eye.
No, I'm searching because there's so many. I mean, I could rattle off
Don't
7.
think, blink.
Marcus Foligno.
There you go. Foligno. You can probably we can make that happen.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of almost has, but yeah.
So, okay, Ryder.
Dead or alive, Kirby Puckett.
Okay.
Because, man, he could put back some beers, I believe, especially late in his game. But alive, I would have to say Marc-Andre Fleury, so we can talk about all those cups he won with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Wow, okay, fair enough. I'm going straight, recency bias being what it is, I'm going right with Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Anthony Edwards, as long as he brings Ant Jr. See, I would want the dog there, too.
Yeah.
And then he and Chauncey could become buddies. That's my in with Ant. Ant's going to come to know me as like that uncle figure in his life. Steve's cool, man. I like that guy. And it's because Chauncey and Ant Jr. are going to become friends. It's like I learned this in preschool. You become your new friends or your children's friends' parents. So that's how I'm going to get in with Ant.
Interesting. I love that you've put this much thought into it.
Yeah, well, it just occurred to me right now in real time, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I can't believe you didn't say Naz Reid and his dog. Because I feel like you've got the hookup.
I know, but see, here's the problem, though. I saw Naz Reid at the vet last year with his dog.
Oh, really?
And it's a little French bulldog. And it's kind of cute, but it's just too small. It's not a good match for Chauncey. You know what I mean? It's like I would worry he'd be a little too rough with that little Frenchie. Cute guy.
You are so selfless. Always putting Chauncey before yourself.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to do at all times. The best athlete you'd want to grab a beer with, you can vote, but here's the 5 that we're giving you a chance to vote for.
Okay.
You got Ryder's best friend, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got Joe Mauer, who, if memory serves, was a baseball player. Mm-hmm. You got Naz Reid. You got, check this out, Torrey Hunter on the list.
Oh man, I'd get a beer with Torrey Hunter.
I would,
sure.
I would too. When I first thought it, then I realized we're opening this up to not just current players. But yeah, Torrey Hunter would be a good one, and then Lindsay Whalen. Why not? I'm sure she's got a tail or two to spin.
I mean, of the people on that list, has won a championship.
I was going to say there's not a lot of other rings, at least as a member of Minnesota teams, on that list.
Absolutely.
92kqrs.com. Get there right now. Vote as many times as you would like. That is, of course, our friends at JTR Roofing bringing us the KQ's bestest this year. Quick question for anybody out there, and I know the answer. You ever had a roommate? Ever had a terrible roommate? We all have. If you got a good roommate story or a bad roommate story, we'd love to hear it. 651-989-ROCK. The reason this is on my mind, a man in his 20s has gone to social media to ask for advice. And here's the story. This is completely insane. His roommate walked into the house. Okay, so I'll just put it in personal terms. You're at home. Mm-hmm. You have a life. You have a roommate. You leave. Your roommate comes in, and he sees a piece of cake that you've made and that you've placed in the fridge. Mm-hmm. And your roommate says, hey, I'm going to take a piece of this cake that it's not mine, but whatever. I mean, I'm assuming they probably get along. He just helps himself to a piece of cake.
Right.
The problem is the piece of cake caused the guy who took it to have an allergic reaction. He did. At no point did he call his roommate and go, "Hey, what's in this cake you left in the fridge? Hey, make sure you didn't put that thing I'm allergic to in it," which happened to be some nuts.
Or just don't help yourself to my cake.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. So the roommate ate the piece of cake. The roommate had a bad allergic reaction. The roommate had to call 911. They had to hit him with an EpiPen. Apparently, because he has a peanut allergy, and he didn't think to double check with that, the cake did include peanut butter. The roommate who stole the cake, the roommate with the peanut allergy, the roommate who got sick stealing cake from his other buddy, is now asking the roommate to pay his medical bills because he says, you poisoned me by putting peanut butter in your cake. Okay.
What? Sorry?
I don't have all of the details on how close these two guys are. Well, I'm assuming they're not very close at all, because if you have a roommate and you know he has a peanut allergy, generally speaking, you probably wouldn't have nuts around, or you'd get a new roommate because you want to have nuts around. I'm assuming they're not that close, because
they must not.
Either way, dude, if you have a nut allergy, why would you eat anything that you aren't 100% sure is nut-free?
That, and if they are close, then roommate who ate cake sends buddy quick text, hey, can I have a piece of your cake?
You would
B, is it safe for me to eat? Blah, blah, blah. Also, where is Buddy's EpiPen that he keeps in his own home because he's got these known allergies? That's another thing.
The point is, the guy is asking for his bills to be covered.
No!
Yeah, the answer is no.
No, not even close, bruh.
Sorry. Can't see it happening. We do have a caller. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talk text line. John from Somerset. John, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm great, brother. What do you got for us?
All right. I used to manage a restaurant in western Wisconsin, and I lived in Egan.
Okay.
I had some roommates that were going to Brown. And I was on my way home from work. I got home. I walked in the door, and there one of my roommates was watching the entirety of the Trapped in a Closet video, sitting on the couch with a jar of mayonnaise and a spoon, cross-legged, just like it was his best friend.
Wow.
Wait, Trapped in the Closet, that's the R. Kelly thing? The R. Kelly videos?
Got it. And that sucker, he had it on VHS, and he was watching all of the segments. I was like,
it's like R. Kelly's soap opera, his musical soap opera series, and the guy's eating mayonnaise out of a jar?
Yeah. Just a little jar of Hellman's and a spoon.
I mean, this is what you get when your roommate's from Brown, the broadcast school of Minneapolis.
The first indicator is don't live with broadcasting students. My God. Oh, wow. Man. What do you say to that? Or do you just go into your room and shut the door and put a dresser across the front so nobody can get in there?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
The same roommate, when it came time for him to mow the lawn, he went out to go. We all stayed in. We were smoking a blunt. And I look out the window, and there he is, just like you're vacuuming the floor, just radiating the lawnmower out from one central location.
Oh my!
I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life.
That's good stuff, John. Thank you for the call, man. We appreciate you chiming in. I had a roommate, a guy that I'm still friends with. So, before I knew him and he had some quirks. He's an odd fella. He still is, but he's a good guy. But I walked into the house one night, and it was early evening, late afternoon. So it was like sun was just going down. But I opened the door, and there was no lights on in the house, so it was darker in the house than it was outside. When you do that, you come in a little darker in the house, and I just opened the front door, not a light on anywhere, and from the back of the house, the kitchen, I just heard this every about 6 seconds. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought, is someone breaking the back windows? Is someone trying to break in the kitchen door? What? And I'm like, hello? And then I said hello a couple times, and I hear this, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's my guy. That's Sean. I walk into the kitchen. He's standing in a kitchen that's even darker than the front of the house was. He's about 10 feet away from the kitchen sink. It was an old house, and it was a very deep, deep sink. And he had a whole lot of drinking glasses arranged on the counter, and he was just one at a time picking them up and throwing them at a high arch into the sink where they would shatter.
What?
Every 6 or 7 seconds, just lobbing them. And I was like, I watched him do like 2 of them after he'd already thrown at least 5 or 6. And I'm standing behind him, and I just went, Bud, are we okay here? And he was like, just had a bad day. And he was just calmly throwing the glasses to shatter in the sink. And I go, why are you throwing glasses in the sink? And his answer was, so most of the glass is easy to clean up. Like he was thinking about I just was okay, I guess that's good.
Just draining threes, basically.
Oh, man.
At least he did the dishes.
Ooh, man, that's something right there.
Wow,
Think about it. At least he did. Great and or horrifically weird roommate moments. Couple of crazy roommate stories. We've all had them. Some better than others. Doug texted in, my roommate freshman year read my mail that I kept in a stack on my nightstand. I found out because he complained to a mutual friend that I had written to another friend that my roommate was in fact an a-hole. The friend had written back asking why I thought he was an a-hole, and that's the letter he read.
Wow.
Our mutual friend looked at him and said, you read his mail? And then he told me about the incident, and I just laughed. He pretty much proved my point right there. Oh, yeah. I had a roommate once who accused me of reading a letter. He said, hey, did you get that? Did you take that letter? And I said, what are you talking about? And he told me that so-and-so said this is back when you would mail things in the U.S. mail. He said, so-and-so, some girl sent me a letter, and I never got it. And I went, well, what's that have to do with me? He goes, do you get the mail every day? Did you take it? Did you read it? And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And it was like for months, he was always suspicious of me. And I thought that's the weirdest thing ever. But I couldn't get rid of him because we were in a band. But anyway, that's one of those funny things.
I said, well, there's that.
Yeah. Any roommates in your past?
You know, this one. So I had one roommate myself that we're not going to get into because it's nothing fun. But I had a friend who lived with a bunch of guys down in Uptown in like my early 20s, a couple of years out of high school, and, just getting after it, living together. He had one guy named Ron. My friend will remain nameless, but there was a dude there in the house named Ron who was just absolutely nuts.
Okay.
And he apparently, I just happened to be there when this happened. He apparently got sick and tired of people. It's funny because it all started, and this is what made me think of it, with somebody eating a roommate's cake, right?
Okay.
He said, I'm sick and tired of shopping for myself, putting stuff in the fridge, and you guys taking it. And so he goes, see this gallon of milk?
Yeah.
This is mine. And if y'all want to try and drink it, I kid you not, drops his drawers, dunks his junk into the milk.
Nice.
To mark his territory, essentially, saying, if you wanna have the milk.
Look what I'm doing here.
That's Francis Sawyer level from Stripes right there.
Yes.
Touch any of my stuff and I'll kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I thought that was going.
He's like, you're welcome to have this milk, and then he went ahead and dunked his unit.
Well,
Did anybody drink his milk afterwards?
I can tell you. I mean, I'm never happier than when I'm drinking a glass of my own junk dip milk. I mean, that's just me. I didn't know that was other. I thought that was just me. Like literally, just me. I can't believe someone else had the same philosophy.
Very happy I didn't live in that house.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. That album, Appetite for Destruction, came out in the summer of '87. I remember, or maybe it was late spring, but it was '87. And I remember hearing it and thinking, good God almighty, these guys are pissed off. Yeah. And I thought it was really good, and I thought it was way better than all the other Sunset Strip garbage that was, the sound du jour. Okay. But that said, when that song was when Sweet Child of Mine came out and MTV decided to really jump on board, like, they got attention, but that record wasn't big. But, man, when that thing hit MTV in, like, the spring of '88 or late '87, it was like, wait a minute, all of a sudden, like, I remember, like my band was playing like fraternity parties, like on southern campuses. Every now and again, we were begging for them because they were like $1,000, and it was like, oh my God, that's rent for 3 months. Yeah. And we'd be at the University of Georgia, University of Alabama, whatever, and you'd hear that song coming out of sorority houses, and I was like, the world is changing very rapidly. Like Guns N' Roses being sorority music. I was like, what is all these little pristine little Southern belles? And they're like, I love Guns N' Roses. And it was just, I don't know. I was just thinking about that, listening to that song. It was a really funny time.
Look at Axl and look at Slash, and how could you not be in? I mean, they looked like rock stars.
They did. They really did.
1,000%. First time I heard "Welcome to the Jungle," it scared the hell out of me. I was just like, oh my God.
No, it was, and as we were at that time local just band in Georgia, and we were coming from we were a band that was way into the Replacements and Husker Du and Soul Asylum, local bands here, and REM and Love Tractor and all these indie bands. But we were like, we'd listen to that record and be like, we should probably get a little tougher sounding. Maybe we should. That's kind of cool. I mean, that really was, man. I will still listen to a song. Sweet Child of Mine starts. I'm like, I've heard it a billion times, and then halfway through, I'm like, man, listen to that bad boy. They were getting after it.
Appetite for Destruction.
That's
a perfect title, too.
Appetite for Destruction. Yeah. A state motto of both Wisconsin and Texas, and also Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There we go.
How about that?
Wow, I didn't know that.
These are some people with some self-destructive tendencies.
Well,
Wisconsin, Texas, Florida, WTF. We're going to give you stories. You're going to tell us the states these stories match up to. And this is Ryder's version. Not Taylor's version. This is Ryder's version. So these are going to be especially delectable. Tasty.
Yeah. We're kicking it up a notch, too, because we have Farm Aid tickets on the line. This show is no joke. So these stories can be from any of those three states. Any combination of Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida. You could be all Florida. You could be 2 Wisconsin and a Texas. So be ready. Your first one is this lady who just can't keep her hands to herself.
A woman is in jail accused of exposing herself at an arrest report states 38-year-old Freedom Zobrist was asked to leave the property for trespassing. Employees say that's when Zobrist became verbally abusive and threatening. Zobrist then walked to the middle of the parking lot and pulled her pants down, exposing herself. It says Zobrist then attempted to grab an employee's and when he tried to stop her, she licked both sides of his face. Zobrist is facing multiple charges, including lewd and indecent exposure, battery, and assault.
She attempted to grab an employee's beep. That was great.
I mean,
I'm assuming that they meant French fry scoop.
Wow. All right.
That's licked his freaking face.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Right. And I love that her name is Freedom.
Okay. So that could be from any of the 3 states. Here is your next one. This guy just trying to be prepared for the afterlife, I think.
New at 5:30, a local man facing charges tonight accused of stealing a truck filled with caskets.
Witnesses say the suspect tried running away.
These pictures from Highway Patrol show David Ayers being put in the back of a trooper's vehicle at MLK Parkway and Moncrief Road.
What's crazy is what was in the box truck.
This is what investigators say was inside the stolen box truck. Caskets.
It was just nuts. How are you going to go to jail for stealing a casket? What's wrong with you? Utterly nonsense, especially when it comes to stealing some caskets. I mean, come on.
The 39-year-old is charged with fleeing law enforcement, resisting without violence, and grand theft. Right now, I'm taking a look to see whether or not Ayers has any previous criminal history here in County. We're live this afternoon. Beth Russo, CBS 47 Action.
When she said, what's in the box truck, I'm thinking of like 7. What's in the box? What's in the box truck?
All right.
Good
and then
Lord.
your final one. This could be from any of the 3 states, Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida. It is like your Uber Karen who just doesn't want to have a good time with naked ladies.
What was supposed to be a family memory to be cherished forever has now been tainted by
boob, nipple, everything.
It was quite the photo bombshell shocker for Monica Davila.
We're trying to recreate memories, and having some chick's boob isn't, allowing us to do that.
As she was going through her vacation pictures from State Park Monday morning.
There it is, just fully exposed.
She noticed a smiling woman who had lifted her shirt to expose her breast.
I had no idea that was going on. This is a big deal.
Which is why she called police to file a report and also decided to share it on Facebook.
Let's make this go viral so that she can be embarrassed.
Hundreds of people so far have left comments on her Facebook post.
And I've had criticism on both sides. People are like, oh, who cares? It's just a boob. And I care.
She said
I care.
Police were interested in following this through and would have an officer call her back. We'll keep you posted.
Sure they will have an officer.
The nipple bomb heard around the world.
Here's 2 things we've learned. Yes, we know you care. And no, she won't be ashamed.
No, she's not going to be ashamed.
She already lifted the shirt to photobomb your family. She doesn't care. You're just giving her free advertising.
You know what I love selfishly about this game? It's kind of an ancillary benefit. Is all of the sensors they're taking out locations, right? So they don't give away where these are.
Yeah.
But they're unnecessary. And so I'm like putting all kinds of words in place of it.
Sure.
It's sort of like Jimmy Kimmel's This Week in Unnecessary Censorship. It's the best.
Where do you think these stories emanated from? They could either be from Texas, from Florida, or Wisconsin, or if you prefer, WTF, Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. We need somebody to call in and win some tickets. 651-989-ROCK. Farm Aid tickets are on the table. We have a caller on the horn who's apparently got the insight required. Jeff from Minneapolis. Jeff, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us. Let's see where we're at, Ryder. Let's set this up and knock them down and get out of here.
First one up, naked dancer in the parking lot of a restaurant tries to grab one of the workers in the member and then licks both sides of his face. Steve, what do you got?
I got Texas. That sounds like the Lone Star State, if anything does to me.
Interesting.
Fletcher?
That sounds very Florida to me. It's lunacy at its finest.
Jeff, who nailed it?
It's going to be Florida.
Yes! Come on!
Yes! I bleeped out the name of the restaurant because I thought that would give it away. Bonus points if anyone can name that restaurant.
It's Florida Joe's.
Jack in the Box. I don't know.
Waffle House.
Oh, yeah, that would have probably given. Do they have Waffle House in Texas? No, I don't think they do.
No, man, that's boy.
Waffle House.
All right,
now you're making me. Now you're just really grinding my gears. I could go for some Waffle House right now.
Yeah, right.
Next one up. Somebody stole a box truck full of caskets. Utterly nonsensical.
I got Florida on that one. That's the one I went with. And you know what? Normally, you get one from every state, but I'm going to double down. I'm saying that is also Florida. Call me crazy.
Well, she warned us ahead of time that it could be any of the combinations this time. But when we're playing this game, I've come to the conclusion that when we have death involved and there's bodies and whatnot, it's Texas.
Jeff, what do we got?
Well, you know what? the state of Florida has to keep holding us up on this.
There's one for Steve.
All right, I got one. Man, Jeff Strong coming in for a double dose of Florida. All right, the final one.
The topless photo bomber who just ruined this lady's day, and I'm sure the police department is going to call her right back. What do you got?
I was going to say Wisconsin, but you know what? Screw it. I'm going to say we're going crazy. Florida, Florida, Florida. I'm saying that is also Florida.
You know what? I initially had Florida written down.
Okay.
I don't think we go Florida, 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 though.
Okay.
I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to switch it up. Wisconsin.
What do we got, Jeff?
Sensibilities.
Well, here's the thing: is sometimes you don't mess with Texas, but sometimes you mess around in Texas.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's
all right,
Texas
Bobby.
One.
Dang
Florida,
it, Bobby.
Florida, Texas.
Yes, but Jeff's the big winner, going to Farm Aid, man.
Jeff, congrats, brother.
Thank you. The lineup that you guys were talking about this morning sounds phenomenal.
It's going to be great. I'm happy for you, sir. Thanks for calling in. Congrats.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
You too, brother.
You too. And way to be better at it than us, man.
He'll be think about that. He's going to be at Farm Aid, and someone's like, "Man, I'm so happy." I love Willie Nelson, Neil Young. You see? Yeah, I've seen him before. Yeah, did you get tickets? Yeah, man, I got online right at 10 a.m. on Friday, and I got so lucky. What about you? Oh, I just knew that photo bomb was from Texas. Remember the woman with the nipple? Yeah, that's Jeff's story. Oh yeah, no. I won a game. I totally caught the Texas nipple photo bomb. So yeah, I'm here too.
When he's telling that story, hopefully he says it was Gorman in the morning.
Let's hope so. Huntington Bank Stadium, they're all going to be feeling Minnesota out there September 20th. So we're feeling Minnesota. Let's get to some headlines, Paul Fletcher.
Well. Kind of an exciting morning around here. Farm Aid is coming back. In fact, they're kicking off a year-long 40th anniversary celebration. And you know where they're doing it?
Where are they doing it?
Right here in Minneapolis, baby. Saturday, September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. You want to know who's going to be there?
Of course.
Okay. I'm just being polite and asking first. Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Neil Young, Dave Matthews, Margot Price. You've also got some others who will be performing as well. Billy Strings, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, Minnesota's own Trampled by Turtles. Farm Aid President Willie Nelson says Minnesota's an ideal host as Farm Aid commemorates this milestone anniversary. Quote, family farmers are the heart of this country. I couldn't agree more, by the way. And we depend on each other for good food and strong communities. Well said, Willie Nelson. I love that.
Very, very nice.
Yeah,
I'm
so
very
cool.
excited about Farm Aid coming to town.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tickets on sale Friday. We're going to be giving away tickets on Gorman in the morning all week.
That's right. Only on Gorman in the morning,
That's
right?
Baby.
Yeah.
You got that right.
That's right. Yeah, you right. Yesterday, wait, nope, that's not the one I want. I want this one. Evacuations are expanding in St. Louis and Lake counties, and the Minnesota National Guard has been activated as wildfires in northern Minnesota continue to spread. We now have 3 fires. First is happening 35 miles north of Duluth, called the Camp House Fire. It's said to be around 1,250 acres as of 7:30 this morning, has destroyed 40 buildings. The second, the Jenkins Creek Fire, discovered yesterday in Superior National Forest, quickly, quote, exploded to 1,500 acres by yesterday evening. And Munger Shaw Fire is at 1,300 acres. You've got, like I said, you've got the National Guard up there. You've got aerial attacks happening as well. And I'm actually going to hit refresh and see if there are any new updates. There are, but I'll dig into those later. Oh, man, Jenkins Creek is up to 6,000 acres. So,
man, that's rapidly increasing.
That's moving fast.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
you've got a tinderbox situation. You know, we've been getting unseasonably hot and dry air, and so the others look like they haven't grown at the same rate, but that one's from 1,500 to 6,000 in a matter of like a couple of hours is kind of
not good.
Is nuts. So hopefully they get it under control, obviously sooner rather than later. And we've talked about snow possibly hitting that area Thursday-ish. Hopefully that. I mean, you know what? Go ahead and come Wednesday, snow.
Bring it.
Absolutely. Karma appears to work. This is an awesome story. A New Jersey lottery player is cashing in on his $1 million winnings after doing a good deed. Okay. Lottery officials say back on April 30th, the player spotted a $100 bill on the counter at the Phillipsburg Paul Mart in Warren County and turned it into the store's lost and found.
Okay.
Moments later, he purchased 3 Power 20X tickets with one of the scratch-offs containing the $1 million prize while visiting the New Jersey Lottery's offices to claim his prize. That's unbelievable.
Think of how many more lotto tickets he could have bought and winnings he could have won if he just kept $100.
I'm just bumming because I'm realizing I always pocket found money, and that's why I've never won the Powerball. I've been doing it backwards.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And maybe if he pockets that 100 rider, maybe he didn't win. Maybe he doesn't win.
If he spent it on those lotto tickets, he would have won.
Oh, yeah. Would have won even more. You're right.
Possibly.
You're right. That's right. Return to the life of crime always. That's right. My first reaction was the appropriate one. Take that money and buy more lottery tickets.
Yeah, that's right.
People that are fans of The Office are going to feel like they've hit the lottery. The next series in the Office world has officially got a title and a premiere date. The show done by the former Office showrunner Greg Daniels, in which the documentary crew from The Office lands on a new subject, which is called The Paper. It follows the publisher and a staff of historic but struggling newspaper people in Toledo, Ohio. Domhnall Gleeson will be the star, and I believe the dude that played, I think his name is Oscar Martinez, who played Oscar in the original Office, will be in there as well. So that's coming September.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. That's
all right. You know that guy Gleason, his dad is also Brendan Gleeson, the Irish guy from like the Scorsese, the Boston movie. He won the Oscar for it. You've seen Brendan Gleeson's been in a million things.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
I know
Leo.
exactly who that is.
Yeah, it's all everybody who's anybody.
What is his name? What's the name of the movie?
The rat. It's the rat.
And Leo
is it
Jack
The Departed?
Nicholson, right?
The Departed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good God Almighty!
God,
I feel like I just got
unreal.
that sneeze out finally.
Hey, by the way, and Domhnall Gleeson is in a show from Hulu called The Patient with Steve Carell. That is absolutely outstanding. It was probably I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2021. Best show I saw that year. Highly, highly recommend. It's a limited series, like 6-7 episodes, and it's done.
That was called The Patient?
Yeah, The Patient. He basically...
I watched it. It was good.
It was really good. It was basically just him and Steve Carell locked in a basement. Yeah.
I don't remember it being called The Patient.
Funny one or a sad one? It's
a
bummer one?
It's a bummer one. It's creepy. It's creepy weird.
It's creepy weird, yeah, for sure. But really, really well done. The dialogue, the writing is outstanding.
Nothing creepy or weird about what went down in San Francisco last night. The Timberwolves took care of business, a 17-0 run in the third quarter to put a great deal of daylight between them and the Golden State Warriors. The Wolves now have a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Playoff Series. A win tomorrow night at the Target Center puts the Wolves for the second year in a row into the Western Conference Finals, where they will play either the Thunder or the Nuggets, who are currently just kicking the teeth out of each other. I hope that series goes 7. I hope the Wolves win tomorrow night and take a little bit of a break to gear themselves up. Either way, it's great to see Anthony Edwards now for the second straight game got his offense back. 30 points last night. Even better is that Julius Randle had 31 points last night.
And didn't he have a triple-double in the last game, too?
I do believe he did.
Okay, so here's my question. Earlier in the playoffs, you were not high on the Wolves getting past the Thunder. Do you feel better about it now if they get there?
No, but I feel like I think it'd be the Thunder will be favored. Trust me. But if they gotta play 7 against Denver, it doesn't hurt the Wolves' chances. The Wolves get a little bit more rest. The Thunder are a younger team than the Wolves. This might put it this way. Yes, I think the Thunder will be favored. Yes, the Wolves could still win the series. I will just take every game as it comes. I will not be making brash predictions.
Will it be a rock fight?
Like you have been.
Yeah, like I have been.
Will it be a rock fight? That's what I want to know.
It will be a rock fight.
Okay, good.
I do believe it will be. Tonight in Baltimore at 5:30 p.m., first pitch, the Twins going for their 9th win in a row.
Let's get some twinning.
Come on. Twin that bad boy. Yeah. 9 in a row. Go figure. We're going to find out pretty soon. If you remember, the Pohlad family plans to sell the team. They had told interested parties, you have to submit your bids by April 1st. And then they announced, we'll give you another 45 days to figure it out. Because they are dead set on getting $1.7 billion for the team. people who go around and tell you what a team is worth. One of these groups said the Twins are worth $1.7 billion. Another one of these groups said they're worth $1.4 billion. You're out of your mind. The poll ads, of course, like that first number better. So I guess 45 days from April 1st is in a couple days. So we'll find out real soon if there is an actual honest-to-God bid on the table that they are going to take. That will be nice to hear. Ramsey. Good morning, Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
We like Ramsey.
We do like Ramsey.
It's a good spot.
Glad to have you with us, Ramsey. We also like the Cranberries. Pretty good rock band. By the way, from Limerick, Ireland.
Such a great spot.
And so do you have a limerick about the Cranberries? We should probably come up with a limerick. I mean, there once was a band called the Cranberries. The bands were Dolores, Dick, and Harry.
I wonder if they have a limerick.
They sang songs about the Troubles. They soaked in baths full of bubbles. And I thought zombies were scary. I did it.
There you go.
Wow.
There it is.
That was impressive.
That's the most I could do.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
As we have been discussing, Farm Aid 40 coming to to Huntington Bank Stadium. They say stadium around here. You throw it out. Huntington Bank Stadium, September the 20th. And in studio right now, Jennifer Fahey, the co-director of Farm Aid 40. Jennifer, first things first, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
How awesome is Farm Aid in Minneapolis going to be?
It's going to be great. We have long been wanting to come here. This state has so much to offer. Incredible music, amazing farming, folks who have been involved in this movement for 40-plus years, and so we're thrilled.
You've been with Farm Aid for how long?
22 years.
22 years. Okay, so this is Farm Aid 40. The first thing I said this morning was, which is 39 more than it should have had.
Yeah.
Right.
The idea is that family farms especially have been just so overlooked and in many different ways, without getting too long-winded about it, forgotten along the way. And my gosh, what do we need more than farms? So, really quickly, what is it we're still trying to do? What is the key message, and what do we hope comes out of not just this one, but all of our Farm Aid performances?
Awesome question. Many multiple things. So first, let me start with Farm Aid is a day of celebration of farmers. They work all year long, often in solitary environments, out in the fields, their heads down. They're working hard in any kind of weather, dealing with a lot of uncertainties. They have really hard jobs. So it's a day that we get to celebrate them.
Great.
We raise money. So our festival tickets, the proceeds go to Farm Aid's work 365 days a year for farmers. We have a hotline that farmers call every day. Some of them are in trouble, especially right now with the economy down and tariffs and a lot of uncertainties for farmers right now. We also have farmers calling, or people calling, who want to be farmers. So they're calling to say, how do I learn about this? How do I get involved? Where do I find funding? Because, of course, it's also really hard to be a farmer if you're not getting that land passed down through the family to get started. Capital intensive, equipment intensive. It's tough. So that's another part of it. And then just letting people know how important it is that we have farmers on the land.
Right. Yes.
Not just so we all get good food on our tables, but also so that our air and our soil and our water are taken care of by people who know how to best take care of it. That we have these beautiful vistas that you have so many of in Minnesota. You have your 10,000 lakes. You have your 65,000 farms that are preserving those views for you.
65,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And, making it possible for you to go apple picking for your family in the summer or the fall. So, so the show is about a lot of things. And to bring it back, Willie and John, they always say that, we shouldn't be here again. We thought Washington would wake up when we called attention to this in 1985, and they did. And we've had some great wins.
Right.
And also, right now, a lot of farmers and historians are telling us things are looking a lot like they were in 1985 when Farm Aid started.
I can't help but notice we're talking about something that's a tough subject and it's a sad subject, but you're just grinning ear to ear. And I think you clearly get a lot out of this work you do. And you are fighting the good fight. And it's already coming very clearly through you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I feel really lucky that this work is not just about telling people how bad things are, but telling people how much better it can be if you get involved. Go
That's
out
great.
to the farmer's market, bring some joy into your life, teach your kids where food comes from, grow a tomato plant, see how hard it is, and then really understand how much respect we should have for these folks who are growing our food and fiber.
I think it's great that you hit the nail on the head with find out how hard it is.
Yeah.
We've got an 8-year-old that consumes cucumbers at an absurd rate.
Yes.
But we're scared to death to even try and grow cucumbers because they've got to go upright.
Yep.
You got to protect it from animals. You got the correct soil, etc. It's not that easy to just throw some seeds on the ground and go, oh, poof, throw some water on it, and here we go, cucumbers. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's
Can
daunting.
you get them hooked on zucchini? Because I think those are easier.
They are, right? Yeah. We can just go over and steal from Grandma, too, if we
There
did
you
that,
go.
for sure.
Farm Aid 40, September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Willie, Neil, John, Dave Matthews, all the usual suspects, plus a few more. Do you find yourselves having to say, no thanks, we don't have time? Are artists trying to get on board now? I would imagine that many people, you've had a ton of artists over the years, different lineups, other than the core, but I would think there's plenty of people who are trying to get on board.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this year in particular, we're hearing from a lot of artists who are saying, keep me in the loop. We want to know what's going on. Maybe we'll come down. I think Farm Aid historically also has had incredible surprise guests.
Right.
We also have this wonderful collaborative kind of thing where these great collaborations happen on stage, and they come spur of the moment in a backstage dressing room, and then they come on stage and it's like, whoa, magic.
Yeah.
So
that's fantastic. And it does, I like what you said. This is a celebration of farmers. You're doing work every day of the year, but for this one day, we're just going to celebrate. It's a positive message. And I'm very heartened by, you said a lot of people call to say, how do I get into this?
Yeah.
So that is, and I would imagine, like anything else, everything it's cyclical. I guess I was surprised, but also not. Yeah, there's young people looking around going, well, hang on. Yeah. We need this. This is very important. And and at a time in life, 20s, 30s, when people are trying to, how do I contribute? How do I be a part of things for a positive way? Farming is never not a bad, and it's always a good answer. That's what I'm trying to say.
Definitely. Growing things, feeding people, it nurtures your soul. And we have Minnesota especially has immigrant populations of folks who come here knowing how to grow food. And they are diversifying our agriculture. They're bringing in methods that are going to help us do better by our soil and water and mitigate climate change. There's all kinds of really amazing innovation happening in the farms and fields all across the state and even right downtown in Minneapolis.
One of the interesting aspects of the event that's actually taking place at Huntington Bank Stadium September 20th, you talk about homegrown concessions. So it's essentially, it sounds to me like the concession stands are going to be farm to table.
They are.
Can you just give us a couple of samples maybe, or what we can look forward to?
Yeah.
You look like you're salivating right now, actually.
It is the best food. In 2007, we started homegrown concessions because it was like, we've got to walk the walk. There's no reason why this good, fresh food that comes from the local economy and benefits the local community can't be served in these venues. And so homegrown concessions, every bit of food on our menu will come from a family farm source. They will receive a fair price for their product, and it will be grown with some kind of environmental standard. So it might be local, it might be organic, it might be grass-fed. There's lots of ways to identify it, but and it's delicious. And so and there are different menu items. So when we've been, say, in North Carolina, for instance, we've had fresh fish from the coast, fish tacos, and a lot of the venues are doing this. They're getting their menu a little more diversified, and there's a lot of benefit in it to the concession stands for sure. But my favorite thing is when I can walk up to somebody and say, do you know that sausage that you're eating was grown this way by that person over there, and help make the connection? And they meet that farmer, and that's it. Like, the farmer feels incredibly valued, and it makes their day, and the person walks away going, I just met the farmer who made my lunch.
Fantastic. Jen Fahey, co-director of Farm Aid 40, is with us in studio on Gorman in the Morning. So 40 years of Farm Aid, I imagine there's been some ups and downs. Has there ever been a time when it felt like it was all kind of falling apart? Was there an unraveling?
Yeah, that's when Farm Aid started.
Okay.
In the 80s during the farm crisis.
Right.
Capital F, capital C, farm crisis.
Yeah.
And we were losing hundreds of thousands of farmers off the land. Farm Aid had this concert. Willie Nelson brought everyone together. Again, he thought, we'll do this thing. Washington will wake up. They'll fix the problem.
Yeah.
2 years later, there was a credit bill that was passed that did enable farmers to restructure their loans and stay on the land, and we averted major disaster. And, things got better. And always, though, Farm Aid has been, even when times are good, Farm Aid has been important because of that one day a year when we can recognize these people who work all the rest of the days of the year for us, often without thanks.
And so you're selling tickets. You're going to have a stadium full of people, but I would assume, or maybe I shouldn't, there's got to be a lot of farmers that actually come to these shows. Like if Farm Aid, do you guys do they get a deal? Is there a way? How does this work? What's the outreach? Yeah. How do we get farmers into that stadium? Because they're working so hard. It's not easy to say, take a day off, come to the big city, spend money on tickets.
Yeah, and particularly for dairy farmers like the ones back in your family, it's hard. They've got to find someone who can milk for that day. But yes, we have farmer tickets that are available directly. You can still call the Farm Aid office and we pick up the phone. So farmer tickets are available. We've already been doing all of our outreach to farm organizations all over Minnesota to make sure that they're there. We actually have events leading up to our festival just for farmers and people working on food and farm issues. So we have 2 full days of events. Give us a call if you're a farmer and you want to make sure you get tickets.
So Farm Aid 40, so not just for information for the gig, but hopefully for information on how people can be involved year-round. Where do they go?
Farmaid.org is filled with information, including our resources for farmers. I just want to give a plug again to the Farmer Hotline, which is answered by our operators 5 days a week. We get back to farmers immediately if we can't pick up the phone. And there's all kinds of resources online, but also resources for eaters too.
My last one I've got for you is the big announcement says it kicks off. This event will kick off, Farm Aid 40 will kick off a year-long 40th anniversary celebration. What will happen in the year to come?
Yeah, good question. We have lots of fires
going I see.
Here.
It's all secretive.
Well, we're looking at some music products. We're looking at some film, some great collaborations. Lots of ideas that are just sort of starting to get off the ground.
All right, fair enough.
Jen, thanks for coming in. Last thing. Okay, you as a singer, will you be sitting in with Willie or Neil or John?
Oh, great question. Why don't I sit in with you?
Okay.
Yeah, big Black Crowes fan myself.
All right. Well, there was a time. We got to get in the time machine for that one.
Okay.
But it sounds like a plan. Thanks for coming in. And between now and September 20th, you got to come back in again. We'll be talking about the show a lot.
How about just Jen and you with drums, and that's it? No instrument, no other instruments, just Jen's voice and your her voice and your drums.
We will not sell any tickets.
No,
because of me, not you. Because of me.
We'll see. Don't sell yourself short. We'll make it happen. Jen, thanks for coming in.
Come back. I want to bring a farmer.
Awesome. Please do.
Yes.
Please do. We'll be in touch. All right, that's it for Jen Fahey, Farm Aid 40. We'll be talking about it a whole lot between now and September. We got just enough time for the last word. For the Vikings season, we just found out.
Wow.
Not 1, 2 games out of the country, consecutive weeks. Do you have those right in front of you?
I do. International play for the Vikings. Not only will they be a part of the first game in Ireland ever, but they'll be the first team to do back-to-back international games. September 28th, I believe it's week 4 against the Steelers in Croke Park in Dublin, and then October 5th against the Browns at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, week 5.
Well, at least we'll get 2 wins out of it.
Kickoff and Bloodies. I can't wait.
That's going to be good. Yes. Back to back out of the country. Yeah. That's absolutely crazy. Croke Park, I believe they play Gaelic football there normally.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor. If you've never watched Gaelic football, just go to YouTube. It's the funniest sport anyone's ever invented.
It's insane. When we were there,
complete lunacy.
We watched it. They had a grand final while we were in Ireland in 2023, and we watched it in a bar with our Irish guide. It was amazing.
Perfect. Tomorrow on Gorman in the Morning, we're going to play a little game we call the Twin Cities Civil War, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy.
Going to be playing that game for Farm Aid tickets right now on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Oh, hey, Fletcher, you're up next. What's up today?
Yeah, I'm going to give away some tickets for the Wallflowers and ZZ Top and probably go commercial free like a little after 11:50.
That sounds like a plan. We will be back at the crack of dawn tomorrow on Gorman in the Morning. Talk to you then.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.